Hi, Laura. Welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right today.
Oh, what's been going on since I saw you last?
Just a lot of stuff at work. It's the holiday season, and so that comes with extra activities and extra responsibilities at work. So just been really busy.
Been really busy. What's some positive things that have happened to you since I saw you last?
Well, we have. I think when we last talked, we were in the process of bringing on new staff and getting them trained. Because myself and the other managers had been helping carry cases and do case management stuff because we've been down staff for quite a while. We are currently fully staffed, so we have 11 workers, and there's only two of them who have not completely finished training yet,
Okay,
but they will be done in a month. So that's positive because there's only
absolutely.
two of them who are not carrying cases right now, whereas at one point there was seven who weren't able to. So
That
but
must be a big stress relief for you.
it is lightened my load. As far as the case management piece goes, there's no longer any cases in my name. The last one that I had was reassigned to a worker on the first of this month. So that has settled down, definitely.
Right. And I'm gonna say you were doing something with school also.
Yeah, so grad school, getting ready to start my final semester in January, which is the big practicum.
Right.
Um,
Now, were you doing one previously also, right?
yeah, this past summer, I guess it was. I can't even remember. I'm so busy, my mind is warped. Um, it was just this past summer that I did my first practicum, which was I had to do at least 16 hours a week. And this next one has to be at least 24. So um, I thought the first one was not like the work tough, but like tough to balance it and work and everything else. And so this second one that's coming up has me a little bit overwhelmed.
Right. So what would you like to work on? What would we like to set up for our agenda today?
I think probably the work stuff. I think just the work stress is really just my that's like this issue that never goes away. I mean, I didn't expect it to go away. That's just the reality of working in child welfare. It's the reality of working in a lot of places. But just especially with the holidays and everything
Right.
that's going on, it's a crazy time. Not just because I have my own kids and my own stuff that I need to worry about, but we're also responsible for 100 kids in foster care who need to have a good Christmas and make sure all their needs are taken care of, and that's a big
Right.
project that I've taken on. So just this work stress and just being overwhelmed and wanting to catch up. So
Right. The work holiday season, I say it sounds like home kids holiday season is stress personal life, I guess. And holiday season sounds like it's a little stressful also.
yeah,
Anything else that's concerning you or bothering you that we may want to put on our agenda?
I don't think so.
Okay. So we've got the work, just the overall holiday season, and just home stresses. And I say it sounds like maybe you've already decided that you want to narrow it down and work on kind of the work situation.
Yeah, I think that's like the most.
Okay. What, if we had time, would you want to work on next? May the just the holiday season itself, home stresses.
Yeah, I mean those aren't as big of a deal. It really just is like I think how everything ties in together, like all three. Like it's not just holiday season at home; it's holiday season at work, and I don't just have stress at home; I have stress at work, and how those kind of all interchange.
Okay. So why don't you start with telling me what you see as being the biggest stressor at work, the top three. If you had to pick the top three things that are stressing you right now at work, what would they be?
It's a busy time of year naturally because, like the holidays come boom, boom, boom at the
Right?
end of the year. So we just got finished with the Thanksgiving stuff, and that's not typically a big like issue at work. Like we have a dinner that we all do, and that's fun. But it's more so like Christmas. It's busy because we have over 100 kids who are currently in foster care. And so we're responsible for making sure that they, are taken care of and that they have a good Christmas. And I have been a part of like the kids' Christmas project in years past. Like it's always something that I've enjoyed doing. Last year I helped with it, and this year I took it on and did it solely. So that consisted of like on top of regular work duties, which is still being a supervisor and planning and preparing for my next practicum, which I'm still very much in the midst of trying to do. Um, like I took on this big Christmas project for our kids, and I had to get Christmas lists developed and dispersed to all the case managers so that they could send out to all the placement providers for all their kids. Um,
Right.
and I need them back by a certain day because we have one of the biggest resources we have in our local community, because I live in a really rural place, is the local hospital. And they last year was the first year that they had kind of partnered with us and collaborated for the kids' Christmas, and they took like so many of our tags, because I make up a tag for every child that's in foster care with Chris, like it identifies whether the child's male or female. It says their age, and then it has like clothing sizes, shoe sizes, and then things they would like to have and things that they basically need.
Right.
So last year they
Okay.
took like 50 tags. The hospital ended up taking 50 tags, and they provided like necessary items like clothing, shoes, those types of things, and they like rocked it. We got so much wonderful stuff back from the hospital, and they graciously decided to partner with us again this year. Um, and they wanted 60 tags this year. So, and they needed their tags by like the beginning of November because they wanted to do basically like a month-long drive.
Right.
I think they needed their tags by like the 11th, because they wanted to do a month-long drive and then deliver the stuff to us by like December 19th. So I got the list out to all the case managers, and then I had to hound them for 3 weeks straight. Like, I need these back, I need these back, I need these back. This is really important. You got to get the list back to me, because once I get the list back, I have to make an individual tag for each kid. And this year we chose to do gingerbread men. So I hand cut like 82 or 84, I can't even remember,
Okay.
gingerbread men.
So aside from being busy, what's something else at work right now that's stressing you?
Well, just like because you have the busyness, and then cut part of um having new staff is having staff that aren't necessarily experienced, which is
Right.
not a bad thing. Like I don't mind having new staff because you get to train staff, and there's something to be said about getting to train staff the way that you want to train them and teach them the way you want to teach them. Um,
Right.
but you also they don't have a whole lot of experience, and so they naturally tend to be more needy. And I don't necessarily mean needy in a bad way, but they
Maybe
are more needy than
extra support.
and need extra support than what experienced staff need. And I have one that's especially needy, who basically needs like a lot of like checks in with me before she does like anything. Like if she has a phone call with somebody, like I have
Right.
to know about it. And so that itself takes up a lot of my time that I'm not used to like having to devote to that piece of it. So it's
Right.
just like trying to balance that, and I want to be there and be supportive of my staff, but I also want to find this balance where like I don't need to know every single thing that you do and every time you talk to somebody on the phone, but I want you to communicate with me and be kept in a loop about, important
Right.
things. And so that just, that takes up time. And then you have the extra projects that the holiday brings on. And then I have my normal supervisor duties too. So,
Okay, so busy, new staff. Can you think of something else, a different category or something else you'd like to include with that?
And just like I said, like and just planning for the practicum, because that's going to be something that I do through my work setting. Like my goal is to do my plan. What I'm working on getting approved is doing like piloting family reunification services
Right,
in my circuit. So, which we don't have that program. Like we've never had it. I've worked there for 8.5 years and we don't have it. So I've like been researching and trying to find out like what kind of some general guidelines are for that program, because I've been talking to my circuit manager and our field support manager about it, and they're great and they're wonderful and they're very like laid back and flexible, and we've had discussions like we can basically make this look like we want it to look, but it's still, that's time too, and that's something that causes stress, is like making sure that's all worked out and lined out and everything's in place so that I can start on the 3rd. And then I'm going to have to devote 24 hours a week to that and still, handle some of my regular supervisor responsibilities. I mean, I know I'll have support from my supervisor.
right.
She's always willing to help with that type of stuff, but it's just all like a lot to have to deal with and
Okay,
fix.
yeah. So you've got just busy Christmas holiday stuff. You've got new staff, and then with just school in general. So how is the stress affecting you? If I were to say, what does the stress look like? How do you know that you're stressed?
I think, I don't know, I'm not probably one that pays attention to like physiological responses. But I would say that I'm probably like just tense and like I just feel all the time. Like I've always got to be doing something, and but also like no no energy. Like I have all this stuff that I want to do, but then like I'm like like I really have to work up the motivation, especially like once I get home. I'm like, to
Right,
sit down and do homework and to sit down and go do a load of laundry, and it's like once I get home, I just like want to sit there and do nothing, but I know that I can't sit there and do nothing because I have all my personal responsibilities. And so,
right. So do you notice that in being stressed, you said you're tense, you've got low energy. Do you notice yourself eating more or less than you normally use?
oh, I'm a huge stress eater. And so this time of year, like I'm a bad like diet cycler. Like for the past 3 years, my New Year's resolution has been like to diet and exercise and to calorie count and lose weight, which I always do, and I'm good like January through April. And then, May gets here and I'm like, oh, so I stopped calorie counting, and then I gained back all the weight that I've lost. And we had
Right,
biggest loser at work, because I'm a competitive person, and so anytime like they want to do a weight loss challenge, I'm like, oh yeah, me, and I'm gonna win. So we had started that at like the beginning of October, and I lost like 4 pounds, and like I'm confident. I've not been on the scale since we stopped that because I don't want to know how much weight I've gained back. But I'm confident that it's at least twice as much as what I lost I have gained back, because yeah, that's one of my coping strategies is to stress eat. I'm like, oh, I'll just go to McDonald's for lunch.
oh, how about sleeping? Does the stress affect how you sleep?
I don't I don't think it affects how I sleep. I think just being more busy in general has has had effect on my sleep, just because like I sleep well. I'm a hard sleeper. Nothing's gonna arouse me once I get to sleep, and I don't have difficulty falling asleep. However, I've always been like I'm not a morning person. I'm a night person. Like I would rather be up until 1 o'clock in the morning and sleep till
Right,
10 than be up at 6 and go to bed at 9. And
right,
so no matter how busy I am at night, I still need like a period of time to kind of like decompress. And
right,
I do that by like watching TV. So it doesn't matter if I'm busy until 10 o'clock at night doing homework and getting my school stuff taken care of. I still need that hour of time to decompress, no matter
Right.
how late it is. So then I may not go to bed until midnight, and then my alarm goes off at 6 or 6:30, and so then I'm dragging in the morning, and that has been a consistent pattern for some time. So I don't think it necessarily affects how I sleep, because I still sleep well. It just affected how much sleep I get.
Right. Do you feel rested when you wake up?
No,
Okay. You
no,
think
it's difficult. My like I set my alarm an hour before I need to get up, because I've like conditioned myself to like hit snooze 5 times.
right? Okay, so it sounds like you've definitely got some issues with stress, and it affects, obviously you're tense, it affects you in every area, at home and at work. What are some things that we could maybe do to help you decrease being tense?
I don't know. I would really I'm kind of excited for January to get here, because my New Year's resolution will still be to lose weight, and I'll start
Right?
dieting and exercising again, and I like that. Like, it makes me feel accomplished, like, to like
Right?
finish my workout for the night. But right now I'm just like, oh gosh, like I want to do it. Part of me wants to do it, and then the other part of me is like, oh god, it's just another thing to like have to do, and I'm already like, I have all these things to do, and so I feel like I know like what I could do. Like, if I was eating better and if I was exercising, I know I would feel better. And if I could just make myself go to bed at 10 o'clock instead of staying up till midnight watching TV, I would feel better.
Okay.
Getting
So,
the motivation to do those things.
right. We've talked about, definitely eating better, going to bed earlier, exercising are all definitely things that are going to help improve these things that you've identified. What would be something that you would be willing to do? What step would you be willing to take to help combat some of these issues of being tense, low energy, eating more? You're sleeping with no interruptions, but you're not feeling rested.
Right.
Um, so what would you be willing to do?
I think, I think it would be real. Like I said, I know what I should do, with the thought of doing it. I'm like, oh gosh, that would be so hard to like start exercising, and to add an extra 45 minutes of work to my daily. I think I'm willing to do anything, especially like I could definitely easily find ways to eat better,
Okay.
and eat healthier. It's just too easy, I think, to be like, if I've had a bad day, or I'm not gonna get like, or if I'm out of the office working, to just like, oh, I'll just swing through McDonald's and get something to eat, or I'll stop at Sonic and grab something real quick. Like,
Okay, let's look at that really quick. When you go to McDonald's or Sonic, what do you typically order?
well, there's nothing good that you could order at any of those places, so it's not like there's
Well,
any good options. But so let me think. Monday, no, it wasn't Monday. It was Tuesday. I ate at McDonald's. I didn't get lunch till like 2 o'clock, 2:30, because I was busy, and I think I had chicken nuggets and French fries, which is not good. And then today I went to Sonic, and I had a junior chicken strip sandwich and some cheddar bites. So
okay.
like grease-filled stuff.
What about doing like grilled? I know McDonald's has grilled chicken, and I think Sonic does too. I mean, obviously, like you said, there's not fantastic choices, but getting something grilled instead of fried.
Is definitely an option. Um,
And I'm a big fan of, instead of the French fries, what about like ordering a couple bags of the apples that they put in the kids' meals?
French fries are the best part though. No, I know. You're totally right. Like, that's stuff that I should do. And if I had more willpower, it's stuff that I would
You know,
do. Like when
or
I'm dieting, that's what I do. Like, or I'll get a McChicken and not eat the bun and just eat the chicken.
right.
So
And what about your water consumption?
that's a huge problem too. I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't drink water. I hate the taste of water. Um, I mean, I normally only crave water like as soon as I get up in the morning, like if I may be thirsty, I'll want a drink of water, or like maybe right before bed at night. If I'm thirsty, I'll drink, part of a glass of water. Part of my problem is I'm a pop drinker. I drink a lot of pop. I drink a lot of Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, Diet Sprite. The first year I started my New Year's resolution of dieting, which is the first year I did calorie counting, I quickly learned exactly how many calories are in a can of soda, and my diet tracker only allowed me to have like 1,200 calories a day, and there was no way I could waste 300 calories on a can of soda. So I switched to diet soda because there's no calories in diet soda. So I can kind of fool myself into thinking I'm doing okay because this doesn't have any calories, but I still drink soda. Like, I stop at McDonald's every morning and get a Diet Coke, and I drink pop all day long. And if I drink water at all, it's like Propel. It's like flavored water because I just can't do the regular stuff.
We've talked about eating better. I'm going to say you also explored the idea of exercising more.
Yes, I have a treadmill. Like I have the option.
Okay. So we've just got, you've got the treadmill that's at home, easily accessible. It's just the want tos that we need to find.
Right. It's the motivation.
Right. And we've got lots of options for eating better. So I'm going to kind of come back around to what would be a small step or something that you would be willing to do starting, let's say, Monday?
I think, because I'm bad about eating out. So I even feel like even if I just started small with like eating out, making sure I have a healthy breakfast. Like if I'm going to eat breakfast, because I don't always eat breakfast, but like if I'm going to eat breakfast, have something healthy instead of going to, running to a fast food place before work and getting something. Like, have something healthy.
So are you going to, is that going to be some?
Or get a healthier option. Like I like the parfaits from McDonald's. So eating like yogurt or something like that. And then even like making myself drink, like at least one big glass of water a day or something. Like giving up one soda for a glass of water. Like I could probably do that.
Okay. So when you say healthy breakfast, is that something you're going to get on the run like at McDonald's? Are you going to pack it yourself? Are you going to try and eat before you leave home?
I give myself options. Like I can do, like whenever I calorie count, I typically do like maybe a bowl of like the special K like cereal, like they kind of look like cornflakes, but like the special K cereal with like half of a banana cut up in it, and then like some low fat milk or something. Like I like that. It's good. I just need to buy the stuff and do it instead of going to McDonald's and getting, a biscuit and jelly or whatever.
Right.
Or like yogurt parfait. Like a parfait from McDonald's is only like, if you don't do the granola, it's only like, it's barely over 100 calories. So like I could have options.
Okay.
Yogurt or cereal or fruit or whatever.
What if we took between now and Monday and used that for time to get prepared? Because like you said, you would eat healthier if you had the stuff there and available.
Right.
So maybe take between now and Monday, give you time to go grocery shopping, maybe create a list of healthier things that you want to have.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. My shopping goes a lot better if I make a grocery list. Like I used to do, like not necessarily not meal prep, but maybe like meal planning. Like I would sit down at the time and decide what I wanted to have for supper each night. So then I can make my grocery list off of that and not just be like grabbing random stuff off the shelf. And then I would also make sure that I had everything I needed for the week. So.
Right. So what would you think? What if we kind of got a jump start on that and started making a grocery list now and listed the things that you needed for yourself to have a healthy breakfast?
That's fine.
Okay. So what are you going to put on your list?
Special K cereal.
Special K. Okay. Write that down on your list.
See, because like if I wasn't trying to be healthy, I'd get Captain Crunch. Mm-hmm.
Right. So Special K. So is that something you're going to like every all day, or do you want to get some options for yourself there at home?
Um, it matters. Like I would get Special K and bananas because you have to have the bananas to go with it, and bananas are healthy. And then I think I would get yogurt too, to have like yogurt at home, because then I could choose like if I wanted which one I wanted.
Right. Do you have a refrigerator at work that, I mean, like if, yogurts are easily portable, that you could take that and maybe have yourself some healthier snack options at work instead of running out and grabbing something?
Yeah, and I can, keep not obviously not anything that needs to be refrigerated, but I can keep snack options in my desk. So I've had like the fiber one, they have all kinds of different snacks that are normally like 150 calories or less. So like the
Right.
coffee cake one's really good, or they even have like a caramel cheesecake one that's like under 150 calories that I've kept in my desk before. So that's an option. I
Okay.
try not to snack through the day. I really don't snack that often unless we happen to be having like a snack day at work for some special occasion. But it's just like when I choose to eat meals, like they're not good meals. So
Okay. That sounds like a good start. Other than cereal and bananas and yogurt, are there any other things that you might enjoy for breakfast? Is there something like a yogurt you could travel with? Is there something besides cereal that you could maybe grab and go if you're in a rush, or if the kids, if you get out of the house late?
um, I'm sure there is. Like I'm trying to think of what I've used in the past. I don't always eat breakfast, but when I'm dieting, I try to eat breakfast. Because whatever they say, it jumpstarts your metabolism. So even
Right.
like a breakfast bar or something like low calorie. I try not to waste too many calories on breakfast.
Okay.
But
So,
I do have options, and like I said, I can keep stuff at the office too. So like I can have my cereal and my bananas and my milk at the office, and not even
oh,
have to worry about like taking something from home. Like
that
I
would.
can have it all there. So
Okay. So, how do you see this being beneficial to you?
well, I think I don't expect it to like help immediately, but I do think like if I consistently ate better and like got more sleep, because I get maybe like 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night, that I would feel better.
Okay. So, yeah, definitely getting a better start to your morning. You've talked quite a bit about sleep. Is that, I don't want to overwhelm you, but is that maybe something that you want to look at modifying just a little bit as we change how you're eating, starting off maybe eating breakfast, or at least a better breakfast in the morning?
I recognize, yes, I recognize that that's a problem. But I feel like that would be like the hardest thing for me to change, because I don't know. I just feel like my day, it can't not end if I don't have that time at night to like just sit there and do nothing. It's like I'm so busy all day and I'm running around because I work full time, and then I come home and I work more at being a mom, and my husband works on the road, and so a lot of times like I'm the only parent that's home, so I'm doing supper and the kids' homework and my homework and baths and getting them to bed all by myself, and so I'm like, I just need an hour or 90 minutes to sit here and do nothing.
Okay. Well, and you said a lot of times you'll just veg out or watch TV or something. What are some other things that are not involving the television that you could do to wind down in that hour that might help you relax a little bit more and help you with a better quality of sleep?
I'm not sure. TV's my thing, or like just being on the internet. Like I like to, like late night online shop and put a bunch of stuff in my cart and then like cancel it all out. Before you pay for it. Like, nope, changed my mind. So, or even just like social media. I'm on it probably way more than I should. Like I could probably take a break from my Facebook and my Twitter account.
Right. Have you ever explored like relaxation techniques, mindfulness, anything, to kind of help slow your brain down? Because what I'm hearing you talk about is watching TV, the internet, social media, things that probably still have your brain quite engaged.
Yeah, I would agree that that is an accurate statement. I do. I am aware of like relaxation techniques and mindfulness strategies, but I'll be honest, like I've never tried um, any of that at night.
Would that be something you'd consider trying just to see if it makes a change in not necessarily your sleep, because you said, you're not waking up or anything, but maybe just the relaxing and letting your mind slow down in how rested you feel?
I'm sure it would probably help.
Yeah, I want to say, how likely do you think you are, how willing, I guess, are you to try that on a scale like 0 to 10, 0 being like, yeah, I don't care for that so much, or 10 being like, absolutely, I'm going to do that?
I'm probably um, I would say like 6.5.
Okay. So, anything that you can think of that, just kind of being mindful or just relaxation techniques that you've tried and been successful with, or would you like to maybe research some and see what there is out there?
I just relaxation. I don't know. Like the ones that I can think of off the top of my head would just be like, breathing exercises and, just being somewhere quiet and focusing on like the breathing, um, and that type of stuff. I don't think it would hurt to like get a refresher because it has um, been a while. And I like if there's anything in the last 18 months has taught me, it's that stress-induced memory loss is a real thing. I used to be like really on it about like remembering things, especially like things that happened at work. I could remember a conversation that I had with somebody 3 weeks ago, like and almost repeat it word for word. And now I don't even know what conversation I had yesterday because my brain's so full of stuff. And so I think it would probably be beneficial to me to get like a refresher.
That sounds like it could be something that you could do. And even just using the techniques that what you remember, just the deep breathing and being someplace quiet, I'm going to say, because being, the mindfulness, the relaxation, it doesn't have to be anything fancy,
Right.
just, counting. I have a lot of people that count, you know, for stress relief or just something, because I get the impression that if your mind isn't busy doing something, then you're going to find something for it to do, even
Right.
when you're trying to relax. I've experienced that myself before, and especially trying to go to sleep. And I, like I'm not busy enough, and counting, it's like, okay, great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There, I'm done.
Right.
I have trouble with that. I've discovered for me personally, I count backwards from 100. And if I mess up, I start over. And that gives my brain something to do. And I'm concentrating more on the numbers, on the letters, listen to me, on the numbers, because I don't want to mess up, because I don't want to start over. And eventually I don't want to necessarily say bored, but my brain slows down enough because you get kind of into a pattern with it, and then I'm like asleep. And if not, I say if I get from 100 back to 1, I start over again, but very rarely does that happen. But I find that keeps my brain busy enough with pretty much nothing but numbers, and it's a lot easier. So, so it doesn't have to be anything difficult. I'm going to say, what if we started to give you, your TV time, your tech time, stuff like that? What if we spent like the last 15 minutes before you go to sleep? You could even be laying in your bed, just concentrating on breathing and stuff. What if we just gave it 15 minutes for using, the relaxation techniques that you already know about?
I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I don't even think like another thing like I don't think it's difficult for me to fall asleep. Like I can be laying in bed like thinking about something work or personal related, and next thing I know my alarm will be going off at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, whoa, like I'm pretty sure I was like in the middle of a mental process and just was out. And so I fall asleep pretty quickly. It's just like winding myself down and getting me to the point where I'm like, okay, no, you really need to go to bed. Like, you've watched enough TV and it's late and you have to get up early in the morning. And so just go to bed. And as soon as I lay down, I'm out.
Okay. So for you, it would be better to be like sitting in the chair or on the couch or someplace there and winding down there as opposed to in your bed.
Like maybe speeding up my winding down process. So it's not like, okay, I'm going to sit here and watch TV for an hour. Because even like sitting on the couch, like I fall asleep on the couch so many times because I'm just like watching TV and I'm like, oh, I should go to bed. I should go to bed. But then I'm like too exhausted to even get up off the couch. And so I may fall asleep on the couch and sleep there until, I mean, and this is what I mean by it, like I'm a hard sleeper. Like I could sleep on the couch and not move and not wake up until my alarm goes on at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Or I might fall asleep on the couch and like wake up at 2 and be like, okay, I guess I'll get up and go to my bed now.
Well, I think it would be
It's like a lot motivation factor and just being like exhausted, like and
right.
not even wanting to do anything.
Right. So even though you sleep, you're still, and it's say your brain and your mind is still exhausted because you're probably working really hard in your sleep too, and you just don't know it. Having those dreams where you're working all day long while you're sleeping too.
Maybe.
So honestly, I think it would be interesting, and I say if we committed, even just 15 minutes to try and slow down of an evening, that's not technology involved.
I think not being technology involved would be fantastic. I think that I think I think you just get conditioned to be busy. Like once you've been busy for so long, like that's the only way you know how to be. And also, I think it's just like the environment that we live in nowadays. Like nobody can be bored because there's always so much going on. And so it's like I can even be sitting there like wanting to watch TV and I'll be half watching TV and like checking Facebook on my phone because just watching TV of its own is too boring. Like my mind has to be doing something at all
Right.
times.
Okay, so let's kind of review this. So exercising, we've kind of put that on hold for a little bit. It's something that you'll maybe look at in the future.
Oh, like it is my goal, January 1, like exercise.
Okay.
We're gonna do it.
So we're gonna maybe work on some of this healthier eating and de-stressing and relaxing a little bit of an evening before bed, try and get a little bit better sleep going on for you. Does that sound doable?
I think so.
Okay. So eating better, why don't you tell me what we talked about and kind of what we decided you were going to do in that department?
So I need to make a grocery list, and that's gonna include cereal and bananas and fat-free milk, which I normally buy like 1% milk anyway. I don't get any. Like if my husband had his way, I would buy whole milk, but no, thank you. Um, and I'll probably get like I like when I'm dieting, I normally do like frozen lunch meals at work or something that's like less than 300 calories or whatever that I can just pop into the microwave, or I make like a ham sandwich with like low calorie bread or whatever. So I can put some of those things on my list and make sure I have those. And I should probably I don't know, the water thing, that's the hardest part because I don't really do just plain water. But I could probably get Propel. I mean, I assume it's maybe at least slightly better than drinking soda all day. So I could
Right.
start there and add that because I don't like tea. I mean, yeah, well, so I can't do that. Not that that's healthy anyway, but like, so I'm pretty much like just soda for Propel. So I'll put some Propel on the list.
Okay. So that sounds
And I like salad. And we have a local grocery store that has a salad bar. So I can go in like over the lunch hour and just make, a small salad with just, tiny bit of dressing. And that could be a lunch option too. So.
okay. Nope, that sounds like some fantastic ideas. And I'm going to say you've kind of even took it a step farther we started with breakfast, and you're talking about lunch and other ideas. And aside from fast food, you've already came up with going to the local grocery store and getting a salad. So sounds like you're quite motivated to do it. So how many days, we're going to start it on Monday. How many days next week do you want to start with the healthier eating? I mean, are we going to do it 2 days a week, every day?
Oh, I don't know that we're ready for every day, but I could probably manage 3 days.
Okay. So our goal for next week is going to be 3 days next week that you're going to have a healthy meal. What if we just did that? It could be breakfast, it could be lunch. That leaves, you brought the salad option up. We can do that.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like, a good experiment. Now, what's your understanding, or what are you willing to commit to, like the relaxation, the decompression of an evening?
I would say about the same. Like I can do it because I think that's gonna be the hardest thing is like changing the night routine. And so I could really try hard to do that like 3 times a week as well.
Okay. So how are you feeling about these changes that we're proposing to make to your behaviors to hopefully gain you some improvements?
I definitely can recognize that they would be positive changes. It's just like it kind of like I said, like everything just seems really exhausting, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be hard, and it's like one more thing to do to think about, but
Right.
sometimes I just get past that mental roadblock.
Right. Because when we talked about being stressed out, you said you were tense, low energy, you're eating more, you're sleeping but not resting. So by changing some healthier eating habits, it could potentially increase your energy, you know. Um, your eating more would be more controlled. So that would be, a positive. And if you're having more energy and stuff, your tension level may go down. Plus, if the relaxation starts working, you may find that you're feeling more rested the next day.
Right.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions about what we've done? Concerns?
No, I don't have any questions or concerns, either one.
So, how do you feel about these ideas? Positive, negative?
Oh, I think they're good ideas. Absolutely, wholeheartedly, they're great ideas. They're things I've thought about before. It's just making myself do them. So no, and I know like I've done these things before, and I always feel better when I'm doing them. Like when I'm eating healthier and when I'm losing weight, when I'm exercising, like I always feel like accomplished at the end of the day. I'm like, okay, this is good. And so, but I always get back into the funk of, you know, falling off
Right.
the wagon. So I just need
So
to
you have, yeah, so you automatically know, I mean, that once you start doing this, you feel better. So maybe we can concentrate on those. I'm doing this so I can feel better.
right.
Do we need to do anything to help you kind of be reminded to maybe get some healthy food in there and to do your relaxation?
I don't think that that's a bad idea. Like something that can like trigger that thought. Like, hey, don't forget you're supposed to be eating healthy.
So what would be the best way to do that for you? What would that look like?
Just anything, even if it's just a note that I can stick on my car or my computer screen at work or um, on the refrigerator at home. I mean,
Okay.
evening meals at home aren't so big of a deal because I'm cooking stuff for my kids, and so those weren't not like going to McDonald's or whatever for supper, but like it's more like during the day, like having those reminders like somewhere where I'm at during the day.
Okay. Well, we've kind of got some behavior experiments for, that we're going to do. We're going to try the eating better 3 days a week. We're going to try the relaxation. So how about, in between now and Monday, or when we meet next, you come up with some notes or something for yourself to put, decide, where do you want to put them? How many do you feel like you need to put up? I want you to kind of think about that. And maybe we can get that implemented to help support your healthier eating and your relaxation.
Okay.
You know, maybe pay attention, start doing the activities, but find where you maybe have the most trouble or struggle the most. You know, is it a certain time of day, a certain place where, ooh, when I, you know, as I'm driving by McDonald's, I can't resist. So maybe you need a note in your car.
Okay.
You know, I want you to pay attention to where kind of the urges are to where it's the hardest, I guess, for you.
Okay.
Okay, so anything else that you feel like we need to address this session?
I don't think so.
Okay, so next week when I meet with you, I'm going to say we'll meet on Thursday. Will that work for you?
Sure.
Okay, so you'll be able to tell me how the eating better's been going, the relaxation, and maybe have some ideas of what we can do to help you with reminders.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Laura. See you next week.
Thank you.